Right, guys, we're on number 3. Let me just turn the camera a bit. So, number 3. Okay, again, I've just started watching it. We're getting to the point where it's becoming a bit, the same. I assume all these historians together know the sequence of events well enough that it's not so bad. As I say, you should be following Japan at War and the Shogunate. But I am sure that they're wearing some of these arm pads the wrong way around. I'm sure of it now. Now I can see more. The rings should be at the back now. And some of the main characters have them at the front now. Unless I'm totally mistaken, which I don't think I am. The rings go at the back. So it's not some weird armor thing that I don't know about. Now, you should be well aware, if you got to this point, that we're doing... So basically, if you like samurai armor, it's this one. It's Samurai Arms, Armor, and the Tactics of Warfare. Okay, that one is what you should be getting for samurai armor. It is well detailed, well complex, and massive about armor. There's tons of it. So if you like armor, this is the one for you. Right, basically, here we've got the combat list. It does my head in. So, the horses, they never do horse combat sort of right. The guys here are trying to hit the people on the horse. Now, what actually, let's look at Turnbull while I do this. What actually happens, so, samurai reins, horse reins, are not like Western reins where it's one loop. You have one in one hand, one in the other. I'm not sure about these. I'll have to check the horses, but they should have single. And we have Jesuit accounts that talk about them, the way they ride with these and how they put them together sometimes. And of course, Book of Samurai, this one, tons of horse stuff in it. Now the what actually happens is a lot of the reins get cut, and then so you're controlling your horse. They're more ponies, to be fair. Controlling your horse pony, and somebody comes in, cuts your rein, you've lost control, you're all over, weak spots are opening up. You can't then maneuver the horse, so it starts opening itself up to spear attacks, and you sort of hit the ground and die. So what they started to do is put chains inside the reins. So a samurai horse has their bit, then chain going up, covered in decorative brocade, and then up to individual reins. So it will stop this hacking, everybody's hacking. You can literally sort of like bounce swords off with these reins. It wasn't a problem. So maybe by this point then stopped attacking them. But we do know that you're meant to go for samurai reins more than anything. But everybody has this let's hit them, and there's blood, and you're like, I know this is going to become a bit of... I think that the Shogunate and Japan at War are going to be like, yeah, this is just silly. They keep hitting people in full armor. It's just a bit down. Now here we have Hideyoshi fighting hand to hand. Whether he did that at the battle, I don't actually know, to be fair. But I don't think he would have been unhelmeted at that point. It does say you can have no helmet on, but we're talking about people being leaders. And there is one account here in the Book of Samurai where it says if somebody's on the battlefield, they've got no helmet on and no banner, they're either really low level and just crap, but if they're wearing pucker armor and they're not wearing a helmet, they're hard as nails because they've just gone like, do it lads, bang. So it says like, somebody's not very well armoured, no armour, no banner, go and kill them, they're easy to kill. But if they come on the battlefield and they've got no helmet on and no banner, but their armour looks really good, then they're high rank, they're going to be a difficult kill, so you want to take a team against them. So just be aware of it. But Hideyoshi here fighting with that helmet on is probably a little bit silly. Just so you're aware, I've just got a copyright claim on episode 3, so I'm going to show less of the actual footage because the copyright claiming me now, and I don't want to lose my monetization. So that's put an end to that. So I'll try and stop it and just show you footage instead of it actually being in. But they've clocked me on that one, unfortunately. Right, what's getting tiresome at the minute is, and I'm doing this all in one day, so it's a little bit tiring, but what's getting tiresome at the minute is the fact they keep saying the most decisive battle, the most bloody battle, the screams. I think all battles are bloody, well, not all of them, but you know what I mean, these battles are bloody, and but it's like the most decisive battle. Literally every 10 minutes, the most decisive battle. Like Wolverine's narrating it to me. In the X-Men, it was the most decisive battle. Right, okay, it was an important battle. They need to change that up a bit. Why is it important? Now, it would be much better if they were like, this is an important battle at this stage because of this. But the most decisive battle last time, like, right, okay, so why? That would be nice. Okay, they're definitely getting these bloody armour rings wrong. So we're in Samurai Arms, Armour, and the Tactics of Warfare. And I thought as I was looking through it, oh, my finger fell out. So you've got Mizunomo no O, which is this thing here. And you see this here, it's got a little ring on the inside there. And that, so the steep bit goes to the front, that bit goes to the back, and then it's tied on. But this on Hideyoshi swaps around every scene. Just watch it. Like, one scene it's to the front, the next scene it's to the back. Clearly it's between takes and they've been like, oh, take your armor off, and then somebody's come along and put it on, but not realised that actually that goes on the back. So unless, well, basically I don't think I'm wrong, but because I'm like, they should have armor specialists here doing this, but they just seem to be flipping it around. I don't know why. But hence, guys, get yourself a copy of this. So we're up to the point now where Hideyoshi is there in a big chair. Again, chairs were there in Japan, but I'm not sure about that. It's a bit, I don't know, not sure. And it seems very Western. But there were Western chairs in Japan, and there was actually Western beds in Japan, believe it or not, imported from the West. In fact, a load of travellers from the West were brought and just made to eat in front of a daimyo. And so they could see what the table manners were like of the West. The West is there at this point. What you're not seeing in Nobunaga's camp is basically the black samurai, who Yasuke, who's not there, which I thought they'd have put in, especially this year. Then also you're not seeing any of the Jesuits. You're not seeing any of there's a couple of Western warriors there, if you know what I mean, doing like fighting, and there's people trading. You're totally, and they're at court, and the Jesuits are at court. They're not like just tucked away. They're genuinely there. William Adams is not there yet, but I'm surprised that, and they've totally took out. It doesn't seem to be in there. Is the race to across Iga, which is one of, you know, Tokugawa Ieyasu's major points. Nearly like loses his life in that, but it just isn't there for some reason. So lineages, like, so now Hideyoshi is having a lineage created. We have to remember this, guys. Lineages are totally fabricated in Japan, a lot of them, or not entirely fabricated, but half fabricated. So, for example, we're going to go back to it. Book of Samurai by Natori Sanjuro Masazumi. Their lineage claims to go back to ancient China, to the 7 military classics, unbroken by 28 generations or something. Obviously, that's not true. It actually comes from 1560s, 1570s, realistically. But they claim to be like 2,000 years old because, you know, that's what people did in Japan. So you've got to be careful with lineages, basically. They keep showing mirrors in this, and mirrors existed in Japan, but literally they're showing a square Western mirror. Now, they may have been there as what's it called? We have to be careful here because some high-ranking people had Western telescopes, Western, you know, very expensive things. So they were there in Japan. But mainly when they say mirror, I think they're talking about the round, handheld, Chinese, polished metal surface. So that's a bit like they've literally just got an IKEA mirror and then sprayed it. So this bit here, Date, who looks cool as hell. Now, messengers are very, very high-ranking people. I can't imagine this is what would happen to messengers. Messengers are extremely high-level samurai. They're not like your local messengers, you know, like we would imagine them. They're very, very prestigious. Samurai being grabbed like that would literally kill anyone. So I don't think the messengers would be handled like that, to be fair. Finally, it's happened. So I don't know why that guy's wearing a mempo by itself. That shouldn't be happening. But basically, Date Masamune, with Date Masamune's helmet in the background, he's the helmet bearer. Now, this helmet would not be held in the hands like that. It'd be held on a staff, probably walked alongside him. But at least somebody has actually said, yes, let's put his helmet with a helmet bearer, which most samurai have. If they're normally grooms and lower level people, you have a groom at one end of the horse, someone at the other end. You have a helmet bearer, a spear bearer. There's like, each horse has about 6 men around it. The man on the top and 4 or 5 men around him, depending on how much, how much money they have. But he, Date Masamune, would have plenty, but he's just got some random guy in the background holding his hat up with one hand. He wouldn't walk like that. That'd tire his hand out in seconds, you know what I mean? What we have here, though, is at least an attempt to show a bit of the etiquette in samurai life. They keep doing this. They keep wiping their swords on the inside of their sleeves. I've never heard of this in my life. The only thing I have ever heard of is using your tenugui cloth from around your neck or from, across in your waistband and cleaning your sword with it. You don't do chiburi because that's nonsense, which is the ceremonial flick. You use a piece of paper, you use a piece of cloth, or you use the back of a mole skin to sharpen and clean your sword. This random thing they've all got going on of cleaning the sword on the inside of their sleeves, I've never heard of in my life. Right, guys, we're nearly there, so that's the end of this one. I got a copyright strike halfway through it, so I'm now just going to sort of like, here's the, I'm not going to play anything because I'll probably get told off for that. So let's see. But I'm liking it. I'm thinking it's good. I am, of course, getting a bit annoyed with the slashing of armour, but we've said that a million times, and I'm getting quite annoyed with the "this is the most decisive battle ever" Wolverine voice, and not explaining why it's the most. It's a bit like, this is important because of this. So let's go on to number 5. I better feed the dogs first, though.